Hey there, and welcome to the future of machine learning with Pecan. We're excited to show you a groundbreaking way to train ML models designed to be as intuitive as a conversation. With Pecan's predictive chat, all you need is an idea of what you want to predict and some data. Yes, even if it's messy. Whether it's forecasting sales, identifying potential churn, or any other use case, we've got you covered. In this tutorial, I'm going to give you a taste of Pecan's capabilities and show you how to train a model in a matter of minutes. So let's dive in. Once you log into the platform, the first thing you're going to see is our predictive chat, and it's going to help you create your predictive question. So let's say that my use case is going to be, I want to know which of my customers is going to make another purchase. So the chat takes my use case and it's going to break it down to four questions to make sure that we have a very specific and well-built predictive question. So the first thing it asks me is, can you confirm that the subject of your predictive use case is your customers? So yes, that is correct. Second question that is going to ask me, you mentioned that you want to predict if a customer will make another purchase. Is making a purchase the activity you're trying to predict? So yes, it is. And now for the third question. So how far into the future you want to predict if a customer will make a purchase? For example, do you want to know if they will make a purchase in the next 7 days, 2 weeks, or a month? So yeah, let's go with 1 month ahead. I want to know 1 month ahead of them if they are going to make another purchase. And lastly, this is our last question. Do you want to predict if a customer will make a purchase on a recurrent basis, like daily, weekly, monthly, or after a specific event, like receiving a promotional email? So let's say monthly. So once a month, I want to know if someone is going to make a purchase in the next month. Okay, so this is my question. Predict monthly whether a customer will make a purchase in the next month. Sounds perfect. I'm going to click looks good. Now, as you saw, it offers you to refine the question further. If you need to, go ahead and it will help you do that. Right now, I click looks good. So it's going to generate a predictive notebook using just day-to-day SQL that will take my existing data and help me train a model based on it. Let's see how it's done. I'm going to click go to the predictive notebook. And here's our notebook, okay? We like to call it notebook because Pecan. Okay, so this notebook is really cool because it contains 2 types of cells. We have cells that actually going to explain what's going to happen and what we're doing. And then we have SQL cells with the actual queries to build the train set for our model. So you can either run them one by one, just like that, or you can click run all and run all of the cells at once. I'm going to do that while I'll speak so we can go over this together. So the goal of this notebook is to create 2 types of tables. Or sets. We have the core set, which is a table with historical examples of the customers that did or did not make a purchase. So it's a list of samples. And then we have the attribute tables where we enrich the model with all the other information and all the other tables and data that we have in order for it to uncover these hidden patterns and be able to make predictions. So let's scroll down and see what's going on. The first cell that we have creates finding relevant customers for the core set. It's creating a list of dates. Now this is an SQL code, simple SQL code, and we got this result, but maybe we don't understand exactly what's going on. So you're not in it alone. You have 2 options here. The first one is go over here to our assistant and simply ask it. Okay, so this cell is called monthly sampling helper table. And you can just ask what's going on in the monthly sampling helper table. Just click enter and you will get a detailed answer explaining about everything. What does the explode command mean? Let's see it live in a second. And it explains the idea behind this table and everything that is going on. You can ask it whatever you want and you will get a detailed answer both on the technical level and on the logical level of things. So this, as we said, creates a list of dates Okay, fairly simple. For each of the months that we want to sample our customers at. So it's looking backwards from today backwards to 2018. Scrolling down, now it asks for the customer table. Now, in order for you to understand this, Pecan creates some mock data for you. As you can see, we just created a list of numbers as customers ID. And this is what the table creates. It creates a customer ID column with the IDs. What we're going to do now is actually connect it to our data. So let's go back to the outline in data panel. And we can see that we have Pecan's demo data here. And I'm going to use the demo data inside of this generated mock data. So I can just delete this. And you can see that we already have it in notes. So I can make it into actual code. And let's see what it asks us to do. So we need to select the customer ID column. So in our case, the customer ID column is actually called customer ID. So I'm going to select my ID column, right? As customer ID, I want to keep the name of this column from, and then it asks for the table name. So the table name is demo data, right? Dot customers. And save it as customers table. Let's run it and see that it works. Okay, so we got the list of our customer IDs, and we can see that we have a total of 81,639 customers. Okay, scrolling down. Next stage, we will write a query that will find the relevant customer per sample date. Okay, so the way that we're going to do that, if we look at the code, it's actually going to the customers table, customer ID, which we've already created right now. And then it's going to go to the helper table, right? And it's going to join them. So let's run query. And what this is actually doing, it's just creating a table where we have the customer table, or the customer ID, and the date where we're going to sample them. Okay, just like that. Scrolling down are positive and negative examples. So what this is doing, it's going to create a list of the purchase dates for each customer, right? So let's click inside the SQL. And again, we have the smoke data, but we also have the template of what we actually need. So we can see the result, the expected result, but we don't need the mock data anymore. So we can remove this and we can use this code. So select your ID column name. So my ID column name will be, please note that we are going to use the purchases table. In our case, it's going to be the transactions table. So my ID column name, let's see, it's customer ID. So I'm going to exchange this as customer ID, okay? And your date column. So my date column is date. So I'm going to change that to date. And then it asks me for my table name, and my table name is transactions under demo data. So I'm going to start typing and use the autocomplete transactions. And that's it. Let's run query. And there you have it. Now we have a list of our customers' IDs and when they made a purchase. Okay. And now this is the cool part. This is the table. This is our core set. Okay. This is the table that the model is going to use to learn from. So we can see that the entire code is already mapped to the names of the tables that we've created above. So nothing to do here. All we have to do is click run query. And now we've created an actual list of samples for the model to learn from. So you can see that we have a customer ID on a specific sample date, and they made a purchase in the next month. Okay, and we have a total of over 3 million samples. We can see only the first 100 or so here. So this is the list of the samples that the model is going to learn from. Now, the model can't learn only from this. As we said, we need to enrich it with more information. So if we scroll down, this is where we get to add the attributes table. Okay. Now this specific query is all in nodes. So I'm going to remove the nodes. And let's say that I want to add my customers table as an attribute. I want to enrich the model with the cities of where each customer lives, or their membership type, or the gender, okay, or the state. Okay. So I just need to edit this code. The first line asks me which columns from this table I want to add as attributes. So I want to add the state, I want to add the city ID, and I want to add my gender, and also the current membership type. So I can even using the autocomplete just like that. Okay, so I want my current membership type. And I want it to be selected from the customers table. So it's under demo data.customers. Okay, and we want it to join with the core set that we've created above. So we need to change that to the name of our table and the name of the ID column, which is just ID in our case. Now, it's important to know this table is just 1-to-1. We have one line per customer. We also have another table template for you, another attribute table when it's one-to-many. For example, for the transactions table, where we have multiple transactions per customer, it's again the same work process, but because we're not going to do it right now, I'm going to delete this cell. And that's it. Okay, so we're ready to train the model. We have our core set, we have at least one attribute table, and we can click train model. And once we click train model, the first thing that Pecan is going to do is actually to validate your data to make sure that it's good enough to train a model. And once it's done, it's going to send the model to train. Okay, and it is going to be in the model tab. Right now, it's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes as it's training the model. Once it's done, this is where you'll get to see the results. And that's it. In less than 10 minutes, we have a trained model based on our data. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can always use the chat to talk to us. We're here to help you out and guide you through your predictive journey. Happy predictions.